This question relates to the chapter we've been covering in class, which is factorizing and expanding brackets. This question is specifically about factorizing. So part A asks us to write the perimeter of this rectangle, but it has to be in a factorized form. So remember that to find the perimeter of any shape, you need to add all the lengths. So this is 4, which means this is 4, and this length is 2x minus 6, sorry. So the perimeter is just simply adding all of these values together. So I have 4 plus 4 plus 2x minus 6 plus 2x minus 6. If you're still not comfortable with adding very different terms together, I would recommend circling the like terms. So I have 2x here and another 2x. And everything else involves numbers, so all of these are like terms as well. So positive 2x plus 2x, that's just 4x. And then I have 4 plus 4, that's 8, and then subtract 6, that's 2, and then subtract another 6, that's negative 4. So be careful about the signs. Remember, we always take the sign in front of our term. So it's a negative 6 and a negative 6. Now, we need it in factorized form. Always remember to read the question again. So we take out the highest common factor. That's the first step you do. The highest common factor between 4x and negative 4 is just 4. And then we open a bracket. They don't share any letters, that's why we just immediately open a bracket. And then we say, well, how do I get from 4 to 4x? I need to multiply by x. And how do I get from 4 to negative 4? That's just multiplied by negative 1. Okay, so to check our answer, we always expand the bracket. So 4 times x, that's 4x. 4 times negative 1, that's negative 4. So we're back to where we were. So that's part A. As for part B, it wants a factorized expression for the perimeter of a square with size 5b plus 10. So we have a square and these are the dimensions. It's always helpful to have a tiny sketch, so each length is 5b plus 10. I'm going to solve this using two methods, and you can pick the method you're most comfortable with. So method 1 would be the long way, which is I'm going to add it 4 times. So 5b plus 10, so that's the perimeter. And then another 5b plus 10, so I'm adding the other length, and then another 5b plus 10, and then my last length, which is 5b plus 10. Again, I can circle all the like terms, so 5b, another 5b, another 5b, and my last 5b. Everything else is a like term as well, so all the 10s are like terms. So 5b plus 5b plus 5b plus 5b, that's just 20b. And then 10 plus a 10 plus a 10 plus a 10, that's just 40. And this is not my final answer. Oh, remember that the question asked for a factorized expression. So the highest common factor between 20b and 40 is 20. They don't share any letters, so we just open a bracket. How do I get from 20 to 20b? We just put a b there. And how do I get from 20 to 40? That's just by multiplying by 2. Now, the quicker method would be to notice that, well, if you have a square, you're just adding the same length 4 times. So the perimeter will just be 4 times the length you have. So this is just a simplified version of the top part. In here we can expand the brackets, so that's just 20b plus 40. And then we can factorize it just as we did above, so that's 20b, 20 brackets b plus 2. Always go back to your question, make sure you've answered the question, and yes, we have found a factorized expression for the perimeter of a square with sides 5b plus 10, and that completes the problem.